Hello, darlings. And if you check out my hair, we're an at-home hair color. So I always tell people this is something that you should do on your own. I teach my clients how to do this because I do not like high maintenance people. I am not a high maintenance girl myself. I believe you should get ready quick. So on that one, check out the makeup video. I think you'll like this one. But I want to start off with a thank you because this is a request video. Seriously, people are asking me how come I haven't done this one. So I am, but let's start out with the basics. Look at my hair, okay? This is what my hair looks like when you comb through it, and I don't do anything with my curl. Look at my nice little white stripe up there, okay? Lucky me, gray on the top, and I'm 5'1.5", so really noticeable. But here are the important things. Have your stuff ready. So one, coffee is necessary in order for me to get through this project, okay? Two, have your hair color mixed up, okay? So I use Goldwell hair color. We're not going to talk about formulations. A lot of people, when you buy hair color at home, it comes in a bottle, okay? So if that's the case, we're going to put it here, and then you're going to use your brush. But mine, all professionals, we put it in a bowl, and we mix it this way. So let's start off with the basics. Your hair has to be clean, okay? We use so many products. There's so many pollutions in the air that don't make the stuff work any harder than it really has to. Gloves. Gloves are a necessity, okay? I do not use disposable gloves. I recycle, repurpose, reuse. That's just not environmentally cool. So I buy ones that are really able to touch everything. So I did this where I showed you my nice straight part, okay? What's really important is that if I do this, you should do this, okay? So section out your hair, or you've got a hot, holy mess going on all the time, and this is already a messy enough project, but don't worry about your parts. What you do have to worry about is not taking too big of sections, okay? So here's the back of my hair. Like I said, hot, holy mess. I only do 3 because I'm gonna be working on the other one. We're totally fine. So gloves. I don't need my glasses to actually do my hair, but a lot of people do. So I have to show you these. I call them eyeglass condoms. They're literally eyeglass protectors. I bought them on Amazon. I love Amazon. I know they own everything, but I couldn't even find these in a beauty supply. What other job, what other area would you need eyeglass condoms? Now, they're really not called eyeglass condoms, but I think it's funny. And they do work, so you don't want to ruin your glasses, but make sure your hair is clean. So I'm also going to give a plug for Tresemme. They do a deep cleansing shampoo that's fabulous, and it's cheap. So my hair, I'm always so oily that if I don't wash it right before I do it, I let it dry a little because you don't want it soaking wet. Start down the middle, okay? So literally use your brush, start down the middle. Go through your sides just like this. So this is why your hair will stay a little bit neater. And I do a lot of this by feel. So that's the truth. You can feel the cold hair color on your head. So over here, we're gonna go through the same thing. And this is just so that it helps you to make the mess less. I'm gonna turn around back here. I'm doing my whole head. I'm not really that gray in the back, but every once in a while I have to do the whole head because I keep my hair a little lighter than my natural color. If you want to talk color formulation, totally other episode, contact me separately. Happy to go through that. But really, I have no idea what I'm doing back there. I do it by feel. So now we're going to work on the front. You always start on the front of your hair and go backwards. So you see how we went through that? I have a widow's peak. These guys are super stubborn. So if you're buying box color, I don't recommend it. If you're going to color your hair at home, go to a beauty supply and at least buy a professional product. Goldwell can only be sold to professionals, so I can't even recommend that one. L'Oreal would be my second choice. It's a really great product line, and it's not horrible on your hair. A lot of times it comes in a bottle. If that's the mixing directions, mix in the bottle. I use a bottle when I do semi-permanent hair color to just coat my ends. But for this, if yours is mixed in a bottle, go through and put it back in a bowl. Get yourself a brush. Reusable gloves. You go in very small segments. Look at that white spot. Wow, that one was impressive, wasn't it? Very small. So when I tell you that 1/8 of an inch And I go against the hair because the gray hair is really resistant sometimes. So you have to make sure that you scruff it up and really scruff it up. But you're sticking very close to your scalp. You do not want to overlap too much. It's bad for your hair and it's not good for your color. Then your roots end up too dark versus your ends. So this one, I've actually mixed up a lot of extra color. Do you see how I take my comb brush here and I pull through? That one I can tell. You can see the white line almost that I make. That actually takes a while, truthfully. Don't worry about it that much. Worry about carrying too much of it through your hair because you don't want to get any further than your root. Like I said, stuff's not good for you. Go back over. The hairline is always wickedly resistant to anybody I've ever done. And the ears are usually even more evil. So if those are your problems, the brush is super helpful on this. I have no gray on my temple. Lucky me. Who cares? I'm short. Who sees that? No, they only see the gray on the top. But do you notice how I keep going over this? Now here's what I'm also going to do. I set a timer. So mine's 40 minutes. When you're trying to whack with gray, you give it a little extra longer. Before I go to my next segment, I'm going to go through, go back, and make sure, like right there, I can tell it's not even cold. I'm definitely missing a spot getting into the back of my hair there. Oops, nice squeak with the gloves there. So can you see how I'm going back over? Even I miss things. So I am much better on my clients than I am to myself. So to be honest, I'm doing a much better job because I'm videotaping this. A lot of times when I do it on my own, I slap it on. But do you see how I've already gone over this area twice? Now we go back down the middle. Remember, try to keep the hot, holy mess as low as possible and work on this side. So we have this whole segment done. And also, I'm going to be doing a video on how to do your hair because usually when I color it, I straighten it and check my haircut. So I do my color or root touch up definitely every 3 weeks. I really do. So I'm going to show another episode where we do what I call a drive-by. It's literally less than a third of the amount of color for a whole head. And you just do the problem areas, which, like I said, 5'1.5". My problem area is boom, right on the top. I find women that wear ponytails a lot, they always get gray temples. Never wear ponytails. I just don't do it. So you see, I'm not that good at doing my own hair. I'm really not. You see how I separate it though? And it's really by feel. Hair color's cold when you put it on. It will never, ever, ever be warm. I'm also right-handed, so that left side of my head is going to be harder to do. But notice how I pull the hair over so I'm not getting all of this with color on it. And I have a mirror on the other side of me over here, so I am looking at this. Like I said, right-handed, so the left side's always going to be harder for me. Left neglect, I actually did a ski video on that one. Left neglect is a big deal. So make your lines, pull it through. The whole process, for me, I time myself. Remember, I'm a pro. I can do this in less than 12 minutes. On my own head, takes a little bit longer. Talking to you takes definitely a little bit longer. Now, before I go to the back of my head, we're going to talk about protective covering because I hate capes. I'm such a clean freak. I have never been able to take a cape and use it over and over on different people. I just think it's a filthy practice. So I have always kept multiple capes because on short hair, you need them. The hair gets down your neck. But anybody who sits in a plastic hair salon chair for more than 20 minutes gets swamp ass. I have always hated those nylon robes they give you in a hair salon because they're gross. It only makes worse swamp ass. So when I opened my first hair salon, we were out. I'm a Goodwill shopper. You see episodes on that one too. Love Goodwill. We were just joking around and we hit the house coat area. So when you see what I'm going to put on, because the back of my hair is a bigger mess. This really is a dirty project. So for people that aren't good at this, you should wear old clothes. This is a shirt I really just don't care about. But we went to Goodwill, totally kidding around, and we were trying on little old lady house coats. And next thing I know, it just hit me and I went, that is a great thing. So the reason I'm going to cover myself is I don't want color all over my back. I might not notice it. With tank tops, somebody will probably come to me and say, hey, you got color all over your back. So before I go to the back, what am I doing again? I told you these are my problem areas. Going over it again. The point of the brush is it actually scruffs up the outside layer of your hair called your cuticle, and it helps the color to get in better. So now look, hot, holy mess, okay? If you don't tame this down, keep a water bottle handy. The back's gonna be horrible if you do not tame this down. So I try to separate it. I know that this has been colored, right? So put this back in the clippy, keep it out of your way. Remember, if this is what I do, you should do this. Hair color's burning my eyes a little. Okay, so now we're going to the back. I can't see it, so there's no point in trying to turn around in a mirror. I do most of it by feel, but I want you to see this. So the hair is separated. Remember I started with my little square through the head? Total hairdresser technique. This is what we actually do. So now that I have this hair out of the way, because it's already been colored, this clippy doesn't feel so good. Reset them. Keep it out of your way. Otherwise, this is a horrible mess. Now we're going to do these two sections. So I'm going to have to keep turning around because I can't move my bowl. I'd like to not ruin the stuff in my salon over here. And you go right to the root. So what I do to make this work is pull your hair a little bit. This way you can actually tell where it is. And to be honest, until I did this video, I never really thought that I'd do it this way. But how else can I tell where I'm supposed to go when you can't see it? What's a better idea is if you have a girlfriend that you can do this with, or a husband, can make a fun night out of this. It doesn't have to be a horrible project. Same thing, small sections. I don't know if you can see this well. Sorry I'm doing this, but I know I'm in the right spot because I can feel the color hit my scalp, and I can feel myself pulling my hair a slight bit. This one's in the way, so I have to redo this segment right here. Now for this side, I'm going to move over here. On the back, I tend to go back and forth. So can you see? I can feel that I'm in the right spot pretty much just because of the cold and the slight pulling. Now, the back of your hair, you're never, ever, ever going to do a great job on the back of your hair. So what I suggest when you get through this whole process here is go through and mush it a little. This way you know that it's all over the back. I am not very gray in the back of my hair, but like I said, my gray is so bad in the front, I actually lighten up my hair color a bit in order to deal with this to get to only 3 to 4 weeks. So I do it once in a while so that there's not a line that the back is that much darker. Like I said, this area, you're never going to do that great of a job, but when you do it this way and you pull a little bit on your hair, you know that it's getting in there. See what I mean about sectioning this out? You have to get the hair out of the way, or you're going to end up getting color all over the place, 1, and 2, making a terrible mess out of the back of your hair. And go through all the way down. Try to keep your sections as small as possible because, like I said, you'll be missing back here. So if you keep them small, you know that you'll overlap and get through it. On the back of the hair, what's super important is making sure that you get your hairline around your ear. This is the area where I see when people color their own hair that they do the worst job, and that's how you can kind of tell they did it themselves. It always comes out a different color in the back. So same thing, small sections. And go all the way through. The cold will give you the feel. This side, this section feels a little big to me, and it's also close to the middle of my head. So I'm going to give a little bit more coverage right there. Like I said, if you notice, I do half of it with my eyes closed because the color burns a little. My clients never say anything, but I think it's because my hair's in my way, so it bothers my eyesight more. And here we're almost done. Like I said, you really have to do this quickly. Time is of the essence when it comes to hair color. So now I'm going to go through. And like I said, this area, there's enough color back in there, but I might have missed spots. Just use your fingertips. You're not mushing all over the place. We don't want to get color everywhere. Now what I'm going to do is go back over and make sure that my entire hairline got covered. Wildly important if you're gray down here, and also noticeable if you wear your hair up. So make sure you don't miss these spots. And here's where I can tell because my hair is getting out of the way. But I'm also going to go back over and make sure that it's covered. Now on this one, I mixed up a little more color than I normally would use. Like I said, I'll do a drive-by episode at another time. Hoping you can see this. The drive-by, small amount of color. Mix it up. Only do your problem areas. That way I really only have to do my whole head maybe every 2 months. Like I said, I keep my color pretty natural. So now we're going to go back over and you want to put your timer on. Anybody who's really gray or anybody who cares that the color might not be staying as long as they'd like it to, then I have a couple of other tricks. So now we're going back through and I'm going to take a makeup mirror at this point because like I said, I'm doing this pretty far away and go through and look closely. So my problem areas are right here, my widow's peak and right around my hairline. Now, one thing women always say is, oh, don't get too much color on my skin. You know what? Color comes off. But if you don't cover your gray, that sticks out and that's worse. And then I set a timer every 10 minutes. So I don't care what your box tells you. If you're working with gray, you need to leave it on a little longer. So I give mine 40 minutes. No longer than 40. If you're going darker, nothing's going to happen. The color actually stops working. It's just not good for your hair to do it. But then what I do is every 10 minutes, I go back through and I go over my hairline. I don't know anybody who doesn't have baby hairs if they're changing their hair color or they're red or things like that that stick out more. So that's what you're going to notice. So now let's get into protective. I'm pretty clean. This is my job. I don't actually get color on a lot of people. I ruin a lot of shirts, but not that many when you think about it. So for other people, like I said, get your ugliest t-shirt. I really don't care if I kill this one. The schmatas, this is the cutest thing in the world, but it's also really not a bad practice. So I just cover up. You look horrible while you do this anyway. So why not make it funny? This way, when you're sitting in a chair, I don't have to sit in a chair. I can run around my house and do things. But when a client's in here and they're sitting in a plastic chair, for a regular client, absolutely every time I would cover them. But you want a thin towel because you don't want it removing the hair color at the back of your neck. Clippies, required, buy a package of them. If this is something you're going to be doing at home, have your stuff ready. So wait to see how this turns out. It looks really good. 10 more minutes, come back. I'll show you, scruff it a little bit more. 10 more after that. It took at least 15 minutes to put on. So we're close. Hi guys, I'm back. We're at our 10 minutes. So now at this point, I don't worry about the gloves because I'm really just touching this up. So I'm going through, remember I said, this is my worst part right here on the top of my head, okay? Go through, there's a lot of color in there. So now this is pretty sticky. But I'm really just making sure that I didn't miss any spots. That's really all this is about. On my own clients, I am way more meticulous, care a lot more. On myself, I'm a little lazier, I have to admit it. So now look, this is wildly attractive. This is why we do the schmata. Isn't this just adorable? But now the rest of it's going to become a mess. This now gets wildly attractive. I really have resistant gray. I don't have that much gray hair, but it's really wildly resistant. So I don't like the hair color to dry out. I don't. Remember, keep your clippies around. Set your timer again. Isn't this just awesome? Awesome. Look at me. At this point, now I like to have the schmata on. Don't forget, you need your protective stuff, okay? This is the area where I want to keep it covered. The reason for the head bag, I don't like the head bags. You can buy those if you want. It's one extra thing, but they leave lines on your forehead. I really prefer the surround, and you'll notice it's going to start to get warm. That's the point. Keep the hair color nice and mushy. And at this point, I'll just mush my hairline or whatever your tough spots are. Mine's right up here. Now at another time, sometimes I might leave out pieces when we get to doing the shampoo cap because that's at the end. I leave extra hair color. Okay, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix it literally with shampoo, and I'm just gonna take about 10 minutes and make a mess out of all my hair at the end. What I will also do, depending on the season, we'll do another episode with that one, is I leave out some pieces of the old colored hair and it makes a natural highlight. So wait till you see the end. Hello, darlings. And we're back to the end now. So this is where the mess gets way worse, hence schmata and towel. The towel, it's not really gonna get that bad because I'm pretty clean, but like I said, be prepared. This, I always tell you, when you're ready to wash it out too, you're gonna wanna do this in your kitchen sink. I do not recommend using bathrooms because there's a lot of soap scum. Even if you're a clean freak, and I'm a clean freak, there is a lot of soap scum on your bathrooms. So I wet down my hair all the way around because now my ends are really, really, really dry. So I want them a little moist to do this because I'm not doing it in a sink. This, I really want this to sit on. So the excess color I had, look, I took it, I'm gonna stand up for this one, and all I did was add shampoo. So old days, we used to call this a shampoo cap. That's really what it's called. So here's what I'm gonna do. My ends of my hair are the ones that are the worst. Underneath is not that bad because it doesn't get hit by the sun, but the top is always really bad. So I'm not kidding. Take it and shove it right in the bowl. Look, can you see what I'm doing here? So this is where it does get messy. It's shampoo and your old hair color. So now we're at the point where I've hit 30 minutes for sure, but my ends need a little work and the color does, it's finished. It definitely stops working, but I'm not kidding. I go through and coat the rest of this. Now, if there are points where I want to keep out a piece, I would have done it, but it's getting into spring. My hair is definitely going to get lighter on its own. I just finished ski season, so it always gets really light. Even helmets help, but your ends still take a beating. They really do. So when I do it this way, I'm getting the shampoo and I'm mixing everything now through each other, making sure that I'm completely covered. Now, it still feels a little dry to me. So I'm gonna spray it. Oops, that water bottle. I always keep 2 water bottles around. Because I really want the color all mixing together with the shampoo now. And it's my ends I'm the most concerned about. So now look what I'm doing. I'm mushing them all through the top here. At this point, 10 minutes max. And then shampoo. Like I said, go do it in your kitchen sink. Do not do this in the bathroom. You will not like if dark hair color or red starts staining your tub or your grout if it hadn't been cleaned really well. See what I'm doing? We're making sure that everything's covered. And then I'm going to wrap this all up in here. Leave it on, rinse it out. I'm going to do other episodes later where you see my hair finished. I'm going to show you this one today. I'm just going to go straight, but I have the easiest way to straighten curly hair. The reason I want to wear it straight after this is because I do not wash this for 24 hours minimum. Truthfully, if I can get 2 days, wear a ponytail the next day or wear it up, I try to get the second day. I know there's a lot of people out there that do 3 or 4. Good for you. It's better for your hair color. I can barely make it to the 48 hours. So that's my deal. So wait to see when it's done. Hi guys, and we're back. Look, I'm like a drowned rat. So look at these knots. I put conditioner all over my scalp. Okay, I have to show this brush. This is another Amazon plug. This brush is the bomb, okay? It doesn't even have a name. Look at it, it's curved. My friend Kelly, who's got hair down to her belt loop, I'm not kidding, beautiful hair, she turned me on to this. You have to see this. So after you color your hair, it doesn't matter how much conditioner you put on it, this combs through your hair so unbelievably easily that I'm so addicted to this brush, I bought 2. So they're sold in 2 packs. My friend Kristen actually bought a bunch and gave them out as Christmas presents. They're that great, but I'm not kidding. So here's the other thing though. I'm gonna straighten my hair. Like I said, I wanna make sure it stays good for 2 days. So this brush is great when you wanna wear your hair straight. But if I wanna wear my hair curly, it actually really does straighten out your curl terribly. And it's the quickest blow dry in the world. So whole other episode, we're not getting into that one, but it came out really good. It really did. So now I'm gonna look close. The color staining, there's definitely some staining right here. I'm not going to remove it, but if you're one of these people that is a total freak and don't want to see any of it, Seabreeze is fabulous. It's a product from the 80s. Totally great. So here's what's weird. When you see the next episode, you're not going to believe it, but I'm going to put my hair in pigtails, and that's how I straighten it because I'm a lazy hairdresser. So really good tips. Hope you like it. If this is the way I do mine and it comes out this well, I kind of think you should try it. So bye for now. Don't forget, if you like it, share and subscribe. And thank you so much to everybody who watches. I so appreciate you. Bye for now.